He's the voiceover studio engineer of the Stars in Los Angeles, California, a Virginia Tech grad with a knowledge of recording studios unmatched in his field. He's a voice actor from Buffalo, New York, with 30 years experience in recording studios and behind the mic. He solves people's home voiceover studio problems in the blink of an eye. Together, there's no studio problem they can't solve, and they'll do it for you tonight. Welcome to East West Audio Body Shop. Now, live from a basement in Buffalo and an office in LA, here are Dan Lenard and George Whittam.
Well, hi there. I'm Dan Lenard in the East.
And I'm George Whittam in the West.
And together we are East West Audio Body Shop. All right, this is actually semi-technically working, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody else is joining us now. Anyway, this is a Google Hangout. Graeme finally got to join us. All right.
This is a Google Hangout. Graeme finally got to
And he's
join
got
us.
his speakers
Got
up
speakers
nice and
on.
loud, too.
Put your headphones on there, Mr. Spicer.
This is what makes this fun, you know? It's all part of the
Okay, and
learning
there's
experience.
Susan. And,
That's why I keep tuning in every week.
I'm brand new to
Exactly.
this, guys.
I know.
Okay, there
I
we
know.
go. All right.
Hey.
Anyway, well, we'll start off with our normal stuff here. We'll get to all of our guests
Why be
and
normal?
the ones joining us. Yeah, why be normal? But you know what they say when things get weird. You know, when the going gets weird, the weird turn professional.
Turn professional, right?
Anyway,
What movie was that in?
I don't know. I heard that one when I was in college, so it was somewhere during the 70s, I think. Anyway, we got a Google Hangout tonight. We've got lots of great stuff that's going on. I know I have to announce, because John Florian will kill me otherwise, that I've got an Audacity webinar on Tuesday night, and I have been going up and down with Audacity and trying to get it to work on my computer. We discovered, if you've got too many plugins in your Audacity, it's audacious.
It's curtains. It's curtains.
Yeah, so you flush out your plugins and suddenly Audacity just screams back to life.
Yeah, I made the mistake once of installing a very, very large number of Waves plugins, and it basically just completely took down the system almost entirely. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I couldn't launch it or anything, but we fixed it, and we'll be ready to go Tuesday night, 9:00. Right to you can go to my website, homevoiceoverstudio.com. Look for the upcoming webinars thing. There's a link there, or go to Voiceover Xtra and get the invite there to go. It's only $29.95, and I am going to go through every single detail of how to run Audacity.
So this
There
is
will
like
be
all
nothing
new
left.
for Audacity 2.0 then.
It is
Sweet.
the latest. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing on Tuesday night. And let's see, we got FAFCON coming up in a couple of weeks. Next week.
Is that coming up in a couple of days or a couple of weeks?
Okay,
Couple of weeks.
it starts on the 12th.
13, 14, yeah.
So, and Pat, you and Jody are driving down here.
We are flying down. Yep.
No, you're not flying down. You're driving down
We are flying down.
from Toronto.
We are.
Oh, you change your flight plans.
We did.
There. I'm right.
Well, that probably only cost you about $500 more, but
Airline points, Dan. Airline points.
hey, listen, my wife just was able to put together a Thanksgiving in Florida
Here.
for 7 people, all on miles.
Holy smokes.
Believe it or don't, she is amazing.
We all have amazing spouses. We don't talk enough about the support we get from them.
This is
It's
true.
true. It's true.
So true.
You can
Yes.
go in front.
Who was that? Oh, that
That
was
sounds
Susan.
like Susan.
That was Susan Bernard.
Get yourself on camera there,
Well,
Susan.
so far we got in the Hangout. We've got me. Hi. And yes, it's blurry, and I don't know why, so get over it. Then we got Dan Lenard, who's not blurry. Then we have Graeme Spicer in Toronto, Canada. Hi, Graeme. Do you hear us okay?
Can you
Hello.
hear us? Oh, there he is.
Awesome.
All right.
And we got Jason Lawson.
Good evening.
Say howdy.
How are you?
No, he said say howdy.
He's being very dramatic. He's being very dramatic. See, that's what happens when voice actors wear headphones. See,
Right.
that's why we never...
Lower us by half an octave.
That's right.
Actually,
Patrick,
this is my normal voice.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Couple of Canucks in the room tonight.
And then we have Susan Bernard, who will be laughing the entire.
Sounded like Ted Baxter.
I love it. I just love it.
Show.
Where are you, Susan?
You guys crack me up.
Susan,
you're just a blank screen, Susan. So
I'm doing the blank screen shuffle because I did not clean the house and I don't want anybody to see.
Did you literally put some tape over it or what?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I thought that earthquake created a blackout.
Yeah.
We had an earthquake here last night. Hard to believe. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yikes. Was it?
That's right. It went bang, right? Just bang. It wasn't an earthquake. It was a bang.
Yeah, it was just a one solid shake, huh?
Yeah, it was just a minor rumble. It disrupted some high up kind of dishes and stuff, and it kind of created a little bit of cracks in the ceiling.
Oh,
but
really?
other than that, no problem.
Well, cracks, that means it must have been
We're having one here now.
Sorry, I'm not getting into that game. It's not funny around here.
No.
Because it actually does happen there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a Google Hangout with our audience, our favorite audience folks who can get on here. We still have a couple of invites out there. We're trying to get a couple of people in here. Somebody has their speakers on.
Naughty.
Naughty. See, naughty.
Is there an echo in this room?
What? Is there an echo in this room?
Is there an
There's
echo
not.
in this room?
There's no echo, really.
Okay. I still hear it, but
Somebody's headphones are too loud. Anyway,
yeah.
You're here to ask us questions. Not that we know what the freaking answers are, but we'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah. Don't expect too much.
Yeah. It's a miracle we've got this thing on the air as it is. So.
And close to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a miracle we got this thing on the air. Wait a minute. There's an echo again.
There's still an echo in here.
Okay, one important key is you can't watch it on Ustream. So if anybody is watching it on Ustream, mute your audio there. And if you can't figure out how to mute the audio, then sorry, you're just going to have to turn off Ustream completely.
Yeah.
But if you're in the show, then what do you need to watch Ustream for? You're on the show.
Yeah, really. That's right.
Okay. What's going on? What's happening? What's the latest and greatest news that's going around the net right now about voiceover recording? Anything really cool?
Well, let's see. There was some discussion today about Studio 6, the
Studio 6, the iAudio. What do they call it? The iAudio interface. It's a really
something
horrible
like
name.
that. Yeah, it is.
It's too long.
A very expensive piece of stuff.
It is pretty pricey. I mean, it's definitely clearly targeted towards like the professional audio tech engineer type person. But sometimes the right tool for the job is going to be expensive. Because what I've noticed is all those other devices that are out right now, that are coming out on the market, like is it called the iTrack Solo? By Focusrite?
The new Focusrite, the 2i. It's like a 2i2, only it's for your iPad.
Right. The problem with all these devices is they still need some external power source, and that one included. So the one thing that sets the iAudio interface I don't know what it's called device. The one thing that really sets it apart is it has its own internal rechargeable battery, right? So it truly is self-contained. So is it worth the extra $200+ for that one feature? I guess it depends on if you're going to use it like a heck of a lot.
Right.
How many of you got, I mean, there's not a lot of voice actors that are literally pulling over the side of the road to make their due dates, the deadlines, right?
So you would think that's not the case considering how many people are like so desperately doing that. Like, how do I record on the road? Get in your car, drive. Your car's probably the quietest thing around.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I think people obsess about that way too much, but it's devices like this, like, George, you and I have been saying for at least the last 6 months that within 2 years, and now we're seeing it's going to be less than 2 years, that a lot of people are going to be doing all their recording on an iPad, and that's going to be their studio. I mean, it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and that's what we're going to see, because now, I mean, Epigee came out with Mike. Has Blue come out with Digital Spark yet? Are they still thinking about it?
It's still vaporware. I mean, it's still like it's still like like coming out any day now kind of thing. But if you remember, the Apogee mic was the same deal. I mean, it was on their website for a very long time, coming soon. Right.
But it was worth the wait.
Yeah. Apparently. So should we show off the gadget that we have, the accessory that everybody with an Apogee mic or any small portable USB microphone will want to have very soon?
That would be a great time. Right. Great time.
Here it is.
Go for it.
We got ourselves our own. Oh, this camera.
I need one.
Yeah.
We have an EWABS.
Other camera. There you go.
We have an EWABS pop screen. It's the image on the screen's reversed, but anyway. This little sucker, it was
turn it around.
Designed. Yeah. This little sucker was designed in part by it was a committee, but it was a lot of it was input from me, and as well one of our viewers that's in the chat room, or was in the chat tonight but disappeared, Graeme Spicer. Oh, he's back. Actually, who is that? Who just popped in?
That's Jerry
Reed.
Jerry Reed.
Hi, Jerry. Anyway, this sucker is extremely lightweight. It doesn't even weigh an ounce. You can easily tuck it into your whatever bag you're using to carry around your Apogee mic. And it's even custom designed to the point where it has a little opening here, this little slit, so that you can see the light on the front of the Apogee mic, so you can check your levels, so you can see if you're clipping. So that was a little additional thing we had to add that made it highly customized. So anyway, all it does is it just slips onto the mic and pull the Velcro straps shut or tight, and a little rubber foot right here keeps it in place really effectively. And that's it. It's cute, it's tiny, and it will be for sale on ewabs.com.
Yes. And Will Cheung has joined us. Okay, Will, you got to turn your speakers down there. Wear your headphones.
I'm a techno noob.
That's all right, man. Just plug in your headphones so we don't hear any echo or anything. No problem.
I'm going to reach all the way to San Francisco and I'm going to slap you.
So anyway, this thing is designed for the Apogee mic, but as you can imagine, it'll work on a lot of different kinds of mics. It's pretty universal.
How much does it cost?
Well, we don't know because it's still prototype and we're waiting for the final wholesale pricing. It's also going to depend on how many we can afford to purchase or how many we pre-order. If we buy them one at a time, obviously they're going to be a lot more expensive. But if we can do a group buy, which I plan to do, we'll put up an order form or a PayPal link. If we can do a group buy and get a certain number pre-ordered, then we can probably get a better deal. So please stay tuned to the EWABS group and all that stuff, and you'll find out soon.
George, can you hold it up again? I didn't get a good look at it.
Oh, sure. For those in the chat room, I'll hold it up in this camera over here.
Okay, perfect.
But that's what it looks like.
Just a little bit higher? Great. Super. Okay, put me on the list.
Yeah, more to the right. No, more to the left. There you go. Now you can see it. Now you can see it. There you go.
Yeah, it's screen. They have EWABS screen printed right onto the.
I need one
pop screen. So anyway, this is the when we were talking about that pop screen a couple of months ago when we had Charter Oak on the show, Michael Deming. This is the same manufacturer and the same pop screen that they use on the Charter Oak mics. It's the same material. Ooh. It's that hydrophobic screen, and
it's afraid of water.
It's afraid of water.
I thought that was just a rabies thing, to tell you the truth.
So you guarantee that books us more gigs, eh, George?
And yes, guaranteed.
Absolutely. That's what I want to hear.
Guaranteed to book you more gigs.
All right.
Only from us.
That's right.
At EWABS. .com.
Right.
So, anyway.
So, all right. So, who do we have
plugs.
tonight? Let's see. We've got Jason and Jerry and Pat and Susan's in a blackout and Will Cheung.
Where are you
San
coming
Francisco,
in?
right,
Yeah.
Will?
Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Vancouver, a little farther north.
Kazakhstan.
Up in Matt Kalrick country.
Yeah, Kanukistan.
How do you do? Welcome, yes.
Jerry, where are you, my friend?
Whitesboro, New York.
All right.
Whitesboro. Oh, I think I got off the thruway there once.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, it was. Or was that Wurtsboro? I can't remember.
Is that one of those exits that if you get off there, you're probably lost? Is that
Yeah,
one?
it's the
It's
Twilight
about 40
Zone.
miles east of Syracuse.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
All right, who else is joining us
Kevin Scheuller.
here? Kevin Scheuller. Get your camera on, Kevin. You can't be on here without your camera.
Or, you know, if you're going
Or
to be
whatever.
bashful, you know,
Yeah.
we'll let you hang out.
Well, I'm trying.
There he goes.
With the camera.
We got some audio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 of us.
All right,
Supposedly this
we
thing
have
can
room for
handle-
2 more.
Yeah, it can handle 2 more people, so we'll see what happens there. But in the meantime,
So does
yeah.
anybody have any questions for us? Anything you'd like to discuss?
Yeah. Did you guys bring any topic ideas? Not that we asked you to, but
Right.
Absolutely none. I just wanted to see you guys.
oh, hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on? FAFCon. Dan, what are you going to talk about at FAFCon?
Jeff Kafer and I have decided we want to do a session on audiobooks because everybody's asking about audiobooks. So we'll do a little bit about audiobook tech and talking, what it is that the producers actually want, and we're going to find out that they don't know what on earth they want. So it's up to us to set the standards.
Excellent.
I found that to be true. I mean,
You guys could always talk about Wovo or your sidekick contest thing.
Well,
Okay.
we've been talking about it. We haven't seen any videos from anybody. We're waiting.
Yeah, we are looking for content.
Announcements. Announcements.
Yeah,
Let's do it
really.
right now. Let's do it right now. Who wants to take the low note? Announcements.
Announcements.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The voiceover choir.
That was hilarious.
Kind of scary. Kind of scary.
Yeah, that was psychotic.
Hey,
sounding.
has anybody heard when the movie the documentary is coming out?
Which one?
The one that June Foray and all those people are in that they had
Who's
on.
that? Or what's that voice? Or
What's
who's
that voice? Or who's that voice? Or whatever that.
Yeah.
Anybody heard?
This is the first I've heard about it.
I've heard possibly in November of this year.
Yeah, when the Digital Spark comes out.
Yeah, there's 2 trailers on YouTube for it right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll have to find one and watch it all together.
Yeah.
If anybody finds it, you can start playing it, and then you can actually click on the YouTube link in the Hangout, add it to your Hangout, and then we can all watch it together simultaneously. One of the cool things about Google Hangouts.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what were some of the questions there? There was there was about the our sidekick. We're still looking for videos from people. If you want to be a correspondent on East West Audio Body Shop.
How is that going to work, though?
I mean, how's that going to work? How do I do my tip of the week?
Now back to you. Now back to you in the studio.
We just hang up film and we just pass it in front of the camera real fast.
We
What kind
throw
of
it to
content
you.
are you looking for, Dan?
Oh my God.
What are we looking for? We're looking for reports on voiceover.
You do watch the show, right, Pat?
I mean, come on now.
I've watched the show since day one.
I know.
In the voiceover world.
I'm having a little trouble with ventilation. That's my issue
Breathe in and out.
in my home studio.
Oh, okay. Well, boy, I'll have to show you how I built mine. Do you have an attic there, Susan?
I do. Yes.
You do? Okay. Is your studio right below your attic, or is it a floor below?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you have enough room to go crawling up into your attic?
In certain areas, yeah.
Okay, above your studio?
Well, part of the studio, yeah, part of the closet.
All right, so go up there right now, and we'll see in about an hour or so.
Man, that's mean.
Right.
That's funny.
Well, we can't see him anyway, so what the heck? No, I built a system in my attic, and then this very unique muffler that I put on it. I'm able to move 250 cubic feet of air per minute out of an 89 cubic square foot booth. So I'm moving the air out of there every 25 seconds, George? Do the math. I'm not good at math.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah. So now I can close the door. I can read in there for an hour and a half. Not that I want to.
You're not getting any whooshing noises or anything.
Nothing. And when I show you guys how I built this thing, you're all gonna go, ooh, ah.
That's what I need. That's exactly what I need.
I watched the video.
No, you saw how I put it up there initially.
You changed it.
It was too loud. I mean, I kept the tube, but what I ended up doing, if you have an old printer box, like from, if you've got a combination scanner, printer, fax machine, one of those big boxes about
large,
this
heavy,
big,
beefy box.
Right. Mm-hmm. I built this thing with an HP printer box. A couple of pieces of drop ceiling that we got rid of because we cleaned out my office and there were pieces of drop ceiling around, and all the remaining Oralex from my old studio.
What's drop ceiling?
Drop ceiling is those panels.
Yeah, acoustical tiling. You see
it's sort of acoustical tiling in there. And I built a baffle and coated it completely with Oralex and put 6-inch ducts on each end of it. It looks like a big square muffler. Hooked it up. It just totally silenced the whole thing.
Sweet.
So when are you guys going to come to Dallas so that you can just come to my house and do this stuff for me?
We're working on it.
Okay.
We're working on it. We need a quorum of people enough to make it cost effective to make the trip because we're not a charity.
That's right.
No, I mean, how many
we
do you
definitely
need?
are not a charity.
Oh, we're working on that. How many do we need? Well, for Dan and I to come together, probably 40, 50 people. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
at $500 a piece. No, just
we're trying to make it cheap enough, but we need a venue large enough to host enough people and make it worthwhile.
That's right.
But
I believe that David Bucci has joined us. Buchmeister, how are you?
Hello.
There he is.
Oh, I'll put him up on camera. There he is.
Yeah.
So we are broadcasting this on Ustream simultaneously. So all you folks that are saying, I want to be part of this and I want to see it, I can't join the Hangout, no problem. It's on Ustream. And of course, what I'm saying right now is completely pointless because if you weren't watching Ustream, you wouldn't be hearing me say it. So anyway, Dan, back to you. Obviously, you're the better
Thank you very
host.
much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Self-referential.
I will speak when spoken to tonight. I'm finished.
I like that idea. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any more questions here? I mean, we're willing to discuss just about anything.
I have a question about the Apogee mic. I know you guys have reviewed it, talked about it a lot. You promoted it a lot. I read it in a magazine that I do respect, that it said it wasn't that great for baritone voices. And I have a baritone voice, and you have somewhat of a low voice yourself. What's your take on that? Is that
somewhat? I'll tell you something, and I think Pat will probably back me up on this. We really like the Apogee mic because it is very, very clean. It covers the spectrum very nicely. It's natural sounding. My philosophy is if a microphone captures you as you exist, you can manipulate it any way you want. So if you use proper mic technique on it. So for instance, if I grab my Apogee mic here and pull it out of its bag, oh, look at that! There it is. If you use it like a regular condenser microphone, regular rules apply. It will pick you up the way a U87 will.
Yep.
Hello, somebody doing dinner in there? What's going on? No noise if you're not going to be on. Okay, if you hang it properly, you use it properly, like right at the top of your bridge of your nose, 5 to 7 inches away, it will pick you up naturally. If you need to enhance the bass a little bit more or the baritone, just go up to the mid the high low end, and that will give you that will change it. Remember, with EQ, you can manipulate the audio any way you want.
Yeah, you can make almost any mic sound like almost any other mic with mic technique, you know, positioning and EQ. Those two together it's everything. Positioning is something that's so easily discounted, but it is incredibly crucial. When people do shootouts of mics when they have multiple microphones, if you need to see how they position the mics during the shootout. If they don't do it right, it's not going to be an accurate shootout. And just by having one mic an inch closer than another will completely change your opinion over that one mic.
Right.
You know.
Now, Apogee's only for Mac. Is that correct?
Yeah. Apogee technically should only be Mac, but I hear it could work on some Windows computers.
Is that a hardware limitation, or is it software?
What is it? USB? Is that all? Or is
it's USB. It will plug into a PC. It's just you don't have the control because all of the hardware in it is really designed to work with Mac OS.
Well,
but it will work as a USB mic from what I can see.
I mean, if you go to apogee.com, you'll notice, or apogeedigital.com, you'll notice that everything they build is Mac specific. That's a business decision by that company, and it's been that way since they made their first audio interface for a computer. Right. Don't know why. It's just that's their choice. I can understand why they did it because it means you have a lot less hardware to support and a lot less support issues theoretically. But you know, that's Apogee. But
George,
you know, yeah.
It'd be nice if they were going to completely focus on servicing the Mac community, that the drivers actually worked.
Yeah, you know, even though that they only have to support Apogee, I mean, they only have to support Apple hardware, their drivers still are not as rock solid and reliable as they should be. And if you ask Apogee about it, they blame Apple. They say, you know, we don't get any advance notice on updates just like any other company does. We don't have special treatment. You know, they mostly blame it on Apple for changing things too often or making bizarre changes to the operating system that make audio drivers less stable. I just don't buy that as much because there's other companies that don't have as many problems as they do. So I don't know. I don't know enough about the way it works, but it could be a little better. And because of the stability problems, it's made me want to recommend their hardware a little less often than I used to.
Yeah, ask Pat Sweeney about his Apogee, the fun he had with Apogee recently.
Oh, yeah. How'd it go?
Well, you fixed it, though, right, Pat?
Well, that was the Apogee 1. I basically pulled my hair out over that one and had all three of you involved in figuring out what the problem was. And I was even online with their wonderful service with their chat forum, and not chat forum, but their online chat. And you know, he had me trying everything from A to Z, and I just threw my hands up and I said, "Look, I'm going to ship it back. It's probably a bad one." And I just said, "You know what? I'm going to go to the store and see if I can return it." And I ultimately went in there. They wouldn't take it back because their returns policy is, I think you got to get it back by 15 days. And I said, "Okay, what if I upgraded to the Apogee Duet 2? And they rolled their eyes and had to check with their manager, and they had one in the store. There was a fight for it between me and another guy that was in the store at the same time, and coffee and donuts will go a long way to get people motivated. So I ended up getting it,
especially in Canada.
Yeah. Especially Tim Hortons.
Yes.
Got home and it worked like a charm. You know, so 2 days of frustration.
So it was the end of the story. The moral of the story is it may be a hardware issue from time to time. Don't rule it out.
I think it is. Yeah, I just had that humming, that noise on the floor, and I couldn't eliminate it. Tried everything.
There you go.
But I love the Duet too. It's pretty sweet.
It is very sweet. It is very sweet.
Nice unit.
It's so sweet that. Oh, go ahead.
Has anyone seen the kind of duet? Monster Duet, the 4-channel thing that sits on the desk.
Oh, the Quartet.
The Quartet.
The Quartet,
it
right?
looks awesome.
It looks really awesome.
It probably is.
Their industrial design, their engineering always looks top notch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're clearly focused on making a product that looks like it belongs sitting next to an Apple product. So they put a lot of extra money into industrial design. And it's now obviously been knocked, not so obviously, but it's being knocked off now by Focusrite, who is making a new product called the, anyone Anyone?
Forte.
Forte.
Yeah.
And it looks
It looks awesome.
It looks a lot like a duet, and it does look awesome. And Motu has the Track 16, I think is what it's called. And it looks like it's the same form factor. It's the rectangular box with a big silver knob in the middle. And you got to wonder, is Apogee going to start suing all of them because their products look too much like the Apogee Duet?
Trade dress.
I know. That's the thing. There's a big difference between Apple suing Samsung and Apogee suing another little company. They don't stand to gain very much.
Yeah,
So.
they just yell at each other. It's not like, you don't have the media there. And
yeah.
Anyway.
Should we do
Good
a
question,
spot here?
Will.
Should we play a spot? Yeah.
We should play a spot and,
All right, let's play a spot.
recollect ourselves and tighten the string between the cans. And
Yeah.
so we'll be right back here at East West Audio Body Shop. You guys who are watching on Ustream, you stay right where you are. You guys here in the room, don't you go anywhere either. We'll be right back.
And now, back to East West Audio Body Shop, where every week it's Apollo 13.
Yes, it certainly is.
Never more true than right now, that statement.
Yeah, it's true. Whoa, what was that?
Stuff's falling and banging. It's so funny when there's literally 10 open microphones, in this Hangout, and it just all sorts of random noises. It's hilarious.
What's funny is that's not coming from someone's mic though. That's someone with an Apple getting new email, and it's that tink sound. That
tink.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's what that sound is.
Good call.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Punk.
And it's not me because mine doesn't make that sound.
My mail. Well, where is my mail on? Let's see here. Well, I better turn my okay. Okay. Turning my email off. It's my fault. That's not my Apple email sound. I have a gong.
So Dan, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When we are listening to you on EWABS, are you actually speaking into that Franken mic? Is that what's actually passing signal?
No, it's passing gas. It's yes. No, this is Franken mic.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Franken mic is a 1938.
He's a haircut.
He does.
Just like Nick Nolte.
He's the shell of a 1938 Bruno microphone. The interior of the microphone is a ribbon motor that I actually built from some DIY plans, and it's with an extremely good transformer, a modern transformer used for ribbon mics by Lundhall, which is a what are they, a Danish company, or no, they're Norwegian. And they have a distributor here in the States, and it's hooked into that. It's got super magnets in it. I built the ribbon myself. Not something you want to try if you have no patience, which is in short supply in my house, so I'm the only one that has any patience. And as you can hear, it sounds like a really good mic. Now, we're putting this particular mic through a lot of processing. It's going through a Eureka preamp with some compression on it, and but as you can hear, it's a great sounding ribbon mic, isn't it? Also a cloud lifter. So this thing is it's being stretched and pulled and all that stuff.
Yes, that cloud lifter was actually given to us by Roger Cloud himself, who we need to get back. We need to get him back in here to be on the show or Skype him in sometime, because that man is very, very knowledgeable about ribbon mics. And even though it's such a niche product that a lot of us in voiceover aren't using, it's still kind of interesting to the microphone geeks out there. And I know we got a few of you watching the show, so
yeah,
we'll have to get him back on.
Yeah, and as you know, I'm a microphone geek with my microphone collection back here. So I'm a big fan of ribbon mics, but only in a traditional sense, not in a sense of they're great for doing voiceover. You know, this is a novelty to me. I happen to sound good on this. Damn good.
Sounds pretty good.
So,
you sound marvelous.
Yeah. To quote Larry Bud Melman, for those of you who remember that one.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
there was a quick question about Wovo.
Oh, okay. Yes, question about Wovo. Good time to ask too.
I haven't heard much about Wovo, and I'm a full-blown supporter of it. Can you give us a 30-second update? What's the latest? We used to get a lot of news, and it's been kind of quiet of late.
Yeah, well, it's been quiet because you know, one of the people who we were counting on to do some technical work disappeared, and so we're trying. What we've been trying to do is get some good CRM software, which is for, you know, so we can do a seamless thing where we can send out notices and get applications out to people. Seeing as that hasn't worked out quite the way we wanted, we decided actually not 4 or 5 hours ago, believe it or not, that we're going to start ahead and we're going to start manually sending out the applications to first the people who were members of the former accrediting entity, who shall remain nameless, but they all know who they are. And they'll be invited in, and then as soon as we get that process going, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of applications, and then we will send out the applications to the general database for people who asked to be invited. So we're talking a matter of a very short period of time. It's like, okay, we can't rely on this situation. We're going to move ahead, and we're just gonna go.
Not to be a Wovo apologist, but I do know what it's like to start up, a new idea and a new project, and you can get a huge head of steam at the beginning, and then you get mired in the details. And then one of the worst details of all is CRM, customer retention management, or whatever. When you're trying to manage all the people and what status they're at and all this stuff. That stuff takes someone that really is a total expert in that one area. And, I think it'll help Wovo at some point when someone steps up that is an expert at that and can...
Well, a couple of people already have it, so we're moving ahead with that. But we are going to start doing that manually. But the thing is we really didn't want to get this thing going half-toast.
Yeah, half-baked.
I mean, really, we wanted. It's a professional organization.
Sure.
It takes time to really organize these things and make it the way we want to make it. It was like we had a lot of steam. People are really excited, and that's great. Everybody's going to get very excited again when we roll the whole thing out. The website is almost done. But you got to remember, everybody's a volunteer.
Yeah,
we're certainly not. We're not making money off of this, and and the people who are running this are all successful voiceover people with real jobs doing voiceover full time.
Absolutely,
and
I think we're all pretty patient people. I think we're behind you. We're very supportive of the concept, and I was just curious more so, what the status was.
That's the status. You will be hearing soon.
Great, thank you.
Sooner than soon.
Judy in the chat room, Judy's voice asked a little while back a Twisted Wave question.
Right.
And she said, all of a sudden the control levels that are usually on the right have disappeared. How do I get them back? I know the answer to that. I think she's probably talking about the audio levels, so the meters, the VU meters.
Yes.
The VU meters on the right-hand side are sizable. For whatever reason, you're actually able to make them wider and narrower. So there is a little tiny handle on the right side, and that little handle is hiding your meters right now. Why don't I take advantage of the fact that I can show you my screen, theoretically? Yeah, there we go. And I will show you what I'm talking about here. So open up Twisted Wave. So if you look, there's a little tiny little dimple. Let me change to full screen so it's bigger. Okay.
Right over here.
There's a little handle here, right? Notice that the meters are gone now. If I move the mouse over that little tiny dot, drag it back to the left, your meters are back. And another thing is if the meters aren't quite wide enough, you won't see the peak levels at the very, very top. These two little numbers at the very top will disappear if you make it a little too narrow. So I think those numbers are useful to see. It really helps you know where you're at with noise floor. So make sure the meters are all the way expanded to the left as far as they'll go. And that should do it.
Doing the visual there, so it was like doing the weather.
Yeah.
Here you have the meters. Yeah, and sometimes that happens in Adobe Audition, and people are like, "What happened to this layout? What happened to that?" Whenever you lose stuff, just usually in a lot of software, go up to Workspace and go back to the default workspace, and miraculously, things show up again.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Oh, yeah, by the way, we're talking about the Twisted Wave on the Mac version, not the iPad version. And, you know, the thing is, I don't have an iPad, so, and I don't use that version, so sometimes I'm a little bit lazy about saying what version I'm talking about, so I apologize, because I've posted things about Twisted Wave, and people say, I don't have that, and I can't do that. And, holy smoke.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're talking about the
who has their speakers on.
Okay.
I have a question for George.
Go ahead.
Hey, I know you're a big fan of the Galaxy S3, but I am still struggling with how to get a USB audio device into the
okay, just to before I go further,
Susan, are you cleaning up or something?
Listen to me. If you are in the Hangout, assume you're on a radio show.
My mic's not even on until I want to talk.
So if you're on a Hangout right now and your mic is open, assume you're on a radio show and that anything you're doing is being broadcasted. Okay. That said, where were we?
Jerry had a question.
I was asking about USB audio into an Android phone.
Right.
Not there yet, is it?
That is one of the last bastions of Android, is being able to support external audio hardware. And we're not there yet. It can do a heck of a lot of stuff. If you look on YouTube, there's a 15-minute long video where this guy demonstrates every gadget you can hook to a Galaxy S3. Video game controllers, external monitors, keyboards, mice. It'll literally act like a laptop. It'll act like a full-blown computer. You can use a mouse, everything. It does all this stuff, but it still can't take an audio input from an external device, unfortunately.
Wow.
There is a gadget called a USB to go adapter. There's actually a standard called USB to go, and it allows a handheld or a portable device that is normally a host, or what do they call it? A client. Basically, it lets you take a phone, which normally is mounted to your computer when you plug it in, and lets the phone turn into the host for something else. And they call that USB to go. So if you plug a USB to go adapter into the micro USB port of your phone, it'll now let you plug in things like hard drives, USB hubs, flash drives, all sorts of stuff. And
now, is that something that Samsung sells, or is that
they have their no? Apparently, the USB to go is a standard. So if you look up USB to go on Amazon or anywhere, you'll find USB to go adapters, and you can buy one. So on one end, it has a micro USB plug for the phone, and on the other end, it has just a USB, like a female USB, so you can plug a USB device into it.
So the same thing applies to the tablets as well. It's the Android that's not there yet. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all Android. I don't know if it's a driver issue. At this point, it must be just a driver issue. Nobody has really taken on the idea of creating a driver that will talk to external audio devices yet. I don't know why. All I can think is that Apple has so much gravity in this area. There's so much focus on Apple and iOS for this kind of thing that, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just really difficult, and they're saying, well, if Apple's figured it out, who cares? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but believe me, I'm paying attention.
Well, if Android is based on Linux, and Linux also supports it, so I don't understand why it's such a difficult thing. You know?
Yeah, I don't either.
I think maybe it's because Apple has had the heritage of the audio-visual heritage. They invented QuickTime. Their core audio layer in their operating system is very good.
Yeah.
And basically, the iOS is basically a port of the Mac OS X operating system.
Right.
So they have the fundamental layers there. It's mature, and maybe it's not quite there with the Android platform.
Yeah.
So, and Macs have always been used in the audio industry as well, the recording industry. So. Yeah,
it's true. I think that has something to do with it as well. I mean, iOS will always have the huge advantage of the fact that iOS only has to be supported by the hardware it was designed to run on. So it's going to look and work correctly because it's designed to run on an iPhone, an iPod Touch, and an iPad, and soon to be released iPad Mini, which I'm looking forward to seeing. But Android runs on hundreds and hundreds of devices. So Android is more like the world of Windows, where there's too many different devices to be supported. And I think nobody wants to put the energy into developing a driver that will work on a Samsung Galaxy S3, but not work on the other 947 Android devices. Yeah. My theory.
Okay, great.
Actually, Judy was following up on this question on the twisted wave on the iPad.
Uh-huh.
Does everybody know how to turn a program off on an iPad?
Off.
Well, okay. Well, you don't have an iPad, nor do you have an iPhone.
No, I have an iPod Touch though.
Okay. It's the same thing. On the iPad, the dimple on the bottom,
the home button.
You double click the dimple, and all of the programs that are open will open up on the bottom, and you'll see the whole list of them. And sometimes people forget to turn these things off, and it drains the battery, because some of these things are internet connected and they're constantly running. So what you do is you double click the dimple. All these programs appear on the bottom of the screen. Just touch the first one. X's will appear on all of them, and then just hit the X on all of them and turn all the programs off. That might be what the problem is, Judy, because the program may have been on too long and it's gotten semi-corrupted in some way. It's hard to corrupt those programs, but if you turn them all off, reboot the iPad, see if that brings it back. It just suddenly popped into my very thick skull here.
So Dan, are you saying that if you press the home button, not just you have to press it a double time to get that strip? Or I was under the impression that, say, if I was running the web browser, for example,
right,
and I just wanted to exit out of it, I pressed the home button, the button at the bottom in the middle, and that would quit the program. But you're saying that's not the case?
No. If you double click the dimple, if you double click the home button, you'll see this large parade of programs that are still open.
Mm-hmm.
At the bottom.
So, yeah. Okay. I wish I had my iPad up here, but somebody's using it for recipes.
Ever since iOS probably 3, maybe it was iOS 3, it turned into a man, there's a lot of noise. Please, guys, anybody help us. Lots of background noise. Good Lord.
I think Booch just went to the head there. So
anyway,
take his mic with him.
Maybe.
Well, we'll find out.
It's gonna be like
enough.
Naked Gun with the wireless mic, right?
Breaking in,
Yikes!
Well, Sheriff,
Somebody step on a cat.
Oh my God! That's the thing is like nobody has a clue how loud that is.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh boy, sorry.
Yeah, well, since you've joined us again, Dave, any questions?
It was my squeaky door that you guys riled up.
It's the thing that you don't realize is the incredible volume of that door. That sound was loud as any of us talking right now. It was unbelievably loud.
Yikes. My apologies. I went to go get my iPad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Google Hangouts trying to maintain audio levels. And obviously when you went off mic, it said, oh, he's gone. I better turn up the mic. So it happens. By the way, anybody watching Ustream, if the show goes offline, it's because my computer is just absolutely maxed out. In fact, when I mouse over a Firefox window, I get a spinning beach ball about a third of the time. So,
yeah, my picture's kind of frozen there.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's not hanging too well right now. My computer's just about choked. But anyway, everybody can hear us, and that may be what matters most.
That's right.
Well, let's take another minute to collect ourselves. We'll play another little spot real quick, and we'll come back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
El Dorado Recording Services.
Randy Thomas chiming in.
This is Alex Verdi. Hi, this is Bill Ratner in Los Angeles.
Hi, this is Scott Rummel here in Yorba Linda, California.
Hi, my name is Rick Wasserman.
Hi, this is Tom Kane.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Marshall.
Hi, my name is Zurich.
Hi, I'm Mary McKittrick.
Hi, I'm Peter McHugh.
I was turned on to George by none other than Don LaFontaine, who always swore by his health.
George is absolutely awesome.
ISDN, Source Connect, Phone Patch, FTP, you name it, George has set it up.
It's really the best thing I've ever done for myself. I feel free, safe, fearless, like anything is possible in here.
Unless you like to look for opportunities to waste time, call George.
And he did all of that, long distance over the phone and the internet.
I'm very happy with George, and I cherish
I've got my travel kit, I got my Source Connect, I've got it all going on, thanks to you.
Thanks, George. You make it easy.
And now back to the only webcast done with 2 cans, 2 geeks, and a string. East West Audio Body Shop, with George Whittam on his end in the West and Dan Lenard in the East.
And a host of hundreds. Actually, interesting thing about Google Hangouts is my Google Hangout crashed or something. So I got kicked out. And I can't get back in because somebody else automatically got slid into my slot. So I'm going to keep trying again here and see if I can get back into my own show, which is kind of funny. But anyway, if I can't, what I'll probably have to do is just force quit Firefox because it seems to be a little bit ornery right now. And maybe I'll just do that. Okay. So I just quitted Firefox and quitted? Is that a word? I just quit Firefox and I'm going to bring it back up and we'll see if I can. Oh yeah, we got a Mac Mbox Mini driver crash. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to start up Firefox again here and see what happens. Cross my fingers and hope I can join back into the Hangout that's already in progress. We've had some pretty good questions so far tonight, and a little bit of laughing too, because it's pretty hilarious the calamity that ensues when somebody leaves their mic open and they leave the room. But that's all part of the game. I don't know if any of you have seen the Hangouts with that featuring the President of the United States, how great they are. Like the production values are absolutely phenomenal. It's like full HD. It's beautiful. I think because Google, I mean, they literally have the Google Hangouts experts at the White House hanging out and, managing the whole thing. They're probably even given a private connection to use, on the Google server. I can guarantee that. All right, so I'm going to try rejoining the Hangout now. And we'll go from there. I had to close the chat room too because I think that the chat room for Ustream is Flash. And man, does it really hog some serious resource. Yeah, there I am. I cannot get in the chat room because I can't get in because it's full. So, no, it's not going to let me get in. So I will message Dan and see if he notices me and ask him to have somebody leave. Can someone leave so I may join back in? The Hangout is full. Don't you love listening to somebody type and read at the same time? All right. And I'll see if I can message somebody else who's already in the Hangout. Nobody else. All right. Well, let me open the chat room then, and I will start asking questions of the chat room since I can't do much else right now, and I don't feel like just rambling for a while because that's a waste of time, and the show's already been on for almost an hour, so let's do this. All right. Hey, gang. I am doing a solo show while a parallel show happens on Hangouts. I'm trying my best, Larry. Anybody? Any questions from the peanut gallery? Anybody? Anything you guys want to know? This is live, ladies and gentlemen. Live as live can be. And when it's all done, I'm going to put it right up on YouTube. I'm not even going to edit it, so you get to see it, warts and all. 86 from the Google Hangout. That would be a great name for a bar. Well, everybody can see me fine on Ustream. That's not the problem. It's the Hangouts where the rest of my cohorts are that I cannot get back into. That is the main issue we're dealing with at this point. Let's see. Yeah, nobody's noticing me typing. Maybe I'll just call Dan on the mobile. Oh yeah, telephones. What a concept. Doot 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 doot. Call Dan Lenard mobile. Take that, Siri. Doot 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 doot. Where am I, George? Where am I, Jorge? I'm trying to call you right now, Dan. Calling you now, Dan. Mobile phone. Maybe I'll try Skype. We got lots of options here. We got mobile phones, we got Skype. Let's try something different. Let's try calling Dan on Skype. Let's see if we can make his computer explode. All right. No answer from Dan yet. I'm going to try again. Yeah, it's not letting me in. I'm going to close the Hangouts window and rejoin the Hangout again. Again.
Hi there. Thank you for calling Dan's Voice. Obviously, I can't take your call right now, so leave a message at the sound of the tone. Bong.
Dan's obviously busy. Dan's obviously busy hosting the parallel show that's happening in a parallel universe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10 people in the show. Obviously, I can't get in because there's already 10. Yep, can't get in. Oh well. This shows you how important it is to have 2 people hosting a live show. I cannot imagine trying to do this show by myself solo. It would be awful boring for you guys to listen to and watch. Anyway, I already showed you the pop screens, and those are pretty nifty, and I'm really proud of them. Graeme Spicer and I went back and forth with the guy who makes these here in LA. He was even nice enough to ship us several prototypes and ship one to Graeme up in Toronto and help us, give him feedback, because nobody is making a pop screen for an Apogee mic or any of these small format USB mics. So we're hoping that this is the first one out there and that some of you will grab one. And I suspect pricing will be between $30 and $50. I don't want it to be anything higher than 50, and I don't think it's going to be lower than 30 because I don't think the quantity will be high enough, but expect $30 to $50 range for one of these little pop screens, which are very nifty and very cute. What's going on in chat room? Why don't you answer your dang phone? George is dying here. Thanks. Yeah, I am dying here. I'll call Dan again here. Do 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 do. Phone button. Recent callers. And calling Dan Lenard. And we shall see what happens. Maybe he has his ringer turned off like a professional would do. They wouldn't normally want to have their phone ringing while they're on a show. So maybe that's why. Oh, bad audio of the week? All right. Let me see what I can find. Bad audio of the week, you guys. I'm sure I can find you something real quick here. Oh, and then questions too. I think there were a couple questions I could answer from our inbox.
If I'm not here, try the home phone instead of 16.
I won't play his phone number for you guys. After seeing Dan's tutorial on Sound Booth a while ago, I got it. I really like the pop and click removal on Sound Booth. When I looked at the trial of Adobe CS5, I did not see the pop and click remover. I assume that's what he means. This is from who is this from? Oh, Robert Leach, R.L. Leach. Was I mistaken, or did they update that feature? I want to have it for my laptop when I have to edit away at the studio from the studio. Is there a better pop and click removal tool that is not north of $200? Please let me know. Thank you. That is a good question for Dan, because I am not a day-to-day user. And call Dan's phone number. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Why am I calling his mobile number? He never. I know Dan. His phone actually rings in his house. Good thinking. All right, so let's go to Dan. Oh, you know why? Because I don't have it. So now I have to call back and hear what his mobile number or his home number actually is. Brilliant, huh? Let me check. There may be more than one contact for him. I do have like 3,000 contacts on my phone. Oh yeah, there's like 5 or 6, 7, 8 versions of Dan Lenard on my phone. I could try a different one. That one? Nope. That one? Nope. That one? Nope. That one? Nope. That one? A trick. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it. A little trick for you guys that have more than one Facebook account. Give them different names, like call one your name and another one your name voiceover, so you can tell at a glance between what's a Facebook account for your business and what's a personal Facebook account. Oh, I think I'm getting in this time. Here I go. Me? Yay!
Oh, hey.
Boy, that was death for about 10 minutes there.
Yes, it really was.
For me, because I'm the one that's on air.
Okay, well, you're back, so I can hang up the phone now, right? Now, yeah, I already did. Okay.
I called every phone I could find. I was Skyping you. I was calling your mobile. I was messaging you. I was Skyping, everything.
Well,
anyway, the problem was there was apparently 10 people in the room and I couldn't get in.
Yeah. That was
me. Sorry.
When you dropped out, Bob came in, and then you couldn't get back in. So Graeme sacrificed himself for the rest of us. He fell on his sword. And...
Graeme, you're a good man. Graeme is actually awesome. Graeme is consulting with my business right now to completely remodel my company. That's part of the reason why I have a new company name, VO Studio Tech. And El Dorado Recording is going to eventually fade into the wilderness or into the sunset. So thanks, Graeme, for all your incredible help that you've given us.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Graeme's a great guy.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I think we probably need to mention our good friend Harlan Hogan right now.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
There's still a few people watching the stupid show. I mean, you guys, what is this? This is amazing. What is it with you guys?
Yeah, but I'm one of them.
That's right. That's true.
How you doing, Bob?
Anyway, yes.
Fine, George. How are you?
Yeah. If you're still watching the show, and you should be, remember to go over to voiceoveressentials.com, because Harlan has all the best stuff out there, doesn't he, George?
He does.
Including video cameras. Webcams.
Harlan has stuff that's really focused directly to what voice actors really need, as opposed to having a little bit of everything. He has just really specific stuff for voiceover. So he's got, microphones that he's picked out that he thinks are, that most people would find useful for voice acting. Not that it's comprehensive. He doesn't have every mic that's good for voiceover, but he has, if you do buy a mic from him, you can be sure that it is appropriate for voice acting, and you'll get a little extra layer of support because the guy wants to help you, and And then if he can't get the answer, he knows where to get it. And sometimes that ends up being me or Dan. So,
yeah, he usually calls us.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the store is very lean and mean. It's not bloated with too much product. In fact, he's trimmed it down so that you get only what the stuff that you see on there is really what you need. And it's voiceoveressentials.com. It's the home of the voiceover, the famous Portabooths, the Portabooth Plus, which recently came out, and then the most recently the Portabooth Pro
Plus
version 3 or Rev 2 or whatever it is.
The big whatever it is.
Yeah, he's got multiple editions, and the latest edition of the Portabooth Pro is of course the best one yet, and it uses actual Auralex foam, which is apparently, and I learned this from him on the show he was on. The Auralex foam now has a certain content of it is soy. And they've gotten that's actually great. You need to put a chin strap on that.
There we go. Actual Auralex foam.
The king of Auralex. The Auralex foam actually has some of the least harmful chemicals and the least off-gassing properties of any of the foams. Most acoustic foam is pretty nasty, and it's for a good reason. I rarely recommend using it. But the Auralex's latest formula has a percentage of soy, and I think they've gotten rid of the formaldehyde, and they've changed the formula, so it's nowhere near as bad for your lungs. So way to go, Auralex, and thanks again, Harlan, for upgrading that Portabooth to include that new foam.
Absolutely. Well, okay. Well, we're kind of winding down here. We have a what do they call it? We have a curfew.
Yeah, we do. We do have a curfew.
It is a school night, kids.
Yeah.
I've got one of mine sleeping just on the other side of the wall here. So we have to back it off here a little bit in just a couple of minutes. Who's our guest next week?
Oh, our guest next week is in my show notes, which I don't. Actually, I'm just kidding because I don't have show notes, so I'm being sarcastic.
I know. I have them here somewhere too.
But I'll riff for a while. I'll find them for you.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So we've got we do this once a month, and if we like getting questions, we like interacting with the audience, and that was essentially what this show started out to be. Is we wanted people calling in with their problems, like in Card Talk, and then everybody was too shy. But now you want to come on with this. It's great to have you on and talk to everybody and. It's always great meeting everybody personally, but it's also nice to get everybody in here virtually, and we're really thrilled to show up every week.
I got the guest.
You got the guest next week?
The next guest is Dave Fenoy.
Dave Fenoy.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yay. Ooh.
Dreadlocks and all.
Yeah. Hopefully
what a get.
Dreadlocks included. Yeah. He should be great. He's knowledgeable and he's fun to listen to.
Yes, he is, and so we'll talk all about him and his career and find out about his home. Have you been in his home studio, George?
I have. I was in it a month or so ago, and he sort of has like that hybrid where he has a whisper room, and he's got a Neumann TLM 103 in there or something, but then he's also got a 416 at his desk outside the booth. And I'm seeing that more and more where people are liking to do the hybrid where they can sit inside or outside the booth depending on what they're doing.
That's my plan too. I think in this particular room, because the ambiance in here is pretty good, but I think I'm going to go to a 416 in here and see if I can make something out of that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing with that ribbon mic how incredibly directional it is, because when you're on that mic
from the side, I'm gone.
Yeah, exactly. But that mic,
I can always talk to the other side though, which is the other cool thing about it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really doing a great job of controlling the room acoustics around you. Even though the room has a light amount of acoustical treatment, it's not heavily treated. It doesn't sound bad at all. It really sounds really great. So, it ain't bad.
Who was that?
That was me.
Oh, question.
That was me. I'll raise my hand.
Okay, Boach, you're on.
Now, speaking of directional mics, Paul Strickwater did a review of the CAD E100S, and I was wondering what you thought of that. Because as far as directionality goes, it's like talking into a straw, I think.
Well, that's what he calls it. It's called a supercardioid, which technically should be. It's two of me. That's kind of freaky. It's a supercardioid, and technically a shotgun mic is also a supercardioid or hypercardioid. Sometimes they call it. Which one has a tighter pickup pattern? I don't really know. They're probably pretty similar in regards to pickup pattern. Just because of the design of the shotgun mic, it's probably the most directional, the Sennheiser being a shotgun. But still, for what it is and the size of the microphone and the price of the microphone, the fact that you get that really tight pickup pattern, it's definitely a pretty amazing mic for voiceover. And that mic was designed for it's a general purpose mic, but they just happen to stumble on a really great combination of features for voiceover. And then it's like $400 or less.
Peter Bishop is saying he's got the CAD. It's a fine mic, but don't get too far off axis.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the same is true for a 416. It has a small sweet spot, the size of like a softball or a grapefruit, or smaller than that even. And you move out of that sweet spot, and it sounds off mic real quick. So there's always a delicate trade-off between shotguns and directional mics, and then the more wide pickup patterns of a cardioid mic. The advantage of the shotgun and the super directional mic is it picks up less ambience and less background noise. So it's great for getting a quieter recording, especially when you're traveling. The disadvantage is that it has that really small sweet spot, and you have to really lock your head in. You Google a video of George Del Hoyo doing voice acting on camera, which he has done. He's been in a couple interviews and things. And find a video of George voice acting on a 416. I mean, his hands are going everywhere. His hands are he's super animated, but his head is locked in front of that mic in the precise, right spot. And that's definitely something that takes practice.
Gotta get him on the show.
Yeah. Okay, we have time for one more question, and then we gotta call it a night here. Yeah, good question.
Thank you, George.
Any more questions?
Anybody else?
Anything in the chat
come all this way.
No, I'll end the show. Dan, you mentioned that you're going to use your shotgun at your desk there. You're not going to be using the walk-in closet where your TLM 103 is? What's your strategy?
My strategy, it's to have both. And that's, what we were just talking about with Dave Fenoy, and I know Mark Cashman does it that way. I think a lot of the big guys do this. They will have a long format booth. I do my audiobooks in there. And, I do everything in there right now. But if I do short trailer stuff or commercials or things along those lines where I need to do Mr. Announcer voice, it's coming back. Corvo and I are convinced it's coming back any day now. Where we can be Mr. Announcer again. A 416 is going to be nice because then I can just sit down at my desk and work right here, and it's kind of nice. So. It's also good, say, if I'm working with somebody else, to have use that as a studio mic so I can talk into there. One of the things I'm thinking about doing with the studio door, if you can see that, I want to put a SpongeBob porthole on there.
That'd be great.
That'll be kind of weird. And
you should make it a real. You should actually make it in a real hole, though. You should cut a hole in the door and put a porthole in, so you have a window in there.
A porthole, absolutely, yeah. But actually a SpongeBob one, because I just love Steve Hillenberger's design on that. He's got a unique way of looking at things.
I met Tom Kinney's wife the other day at Voice Tracks West.
Ooh, Brush with Greatness.
I didn't know who she was, but it was one of those things where after she left, Andrew Feliciano, the owner there, said, that was Tom Kinney's wife. I was like, oh, cool. Let's get him on the show, damn it.
Yeah, really. I'd love to have him on the show.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to have him on the show. We got a list of some pretty cool voice actors, and I think we're going to make a goal of 2013 to bring in some more wow names for you guys. Some more animation voices and stuff that you're not going to see anywhere else. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's a thrill to meet these people. Those of you who, I know a lot of you were at Voice 2012 and 2010 and 2008. Anybody here who was a 2007 with me? I guess I was the only one. Yeah, but meeting these people is always kind of nice. and they're all the salt of the earth. They are just wonderful people, and I know that's certainly the case with Dave Fenoy, who we had a nice talk with when we were in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's going to call it for the night here.
Well, remember, you guys, send in your questions. We haven't done bad audio of the week for quite a while because we just really haven't received any.
Yeah,
but if
we fixed it all, that's why
we fixed it all. There's no more bad. We fixed all the bad audio out there. We do have.
So this is the last show, then, I guess. Hey, guys.
Last show.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
It was great.
It's all fixed.
The world's been fixed.
The world has been fixed. Please do check out EWABS.com. There's so much content on there besides the blog roll that has all the shows, all the show notes that are painstakingly written out by Jason Lawson every week. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, we're also thinking about putting together a well, maybe we'll just do it online. All the tips of the week, of which I counted 24 so far.
Oh my gosh!
Wow. I can't believe I've done that many.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
you know, and I got a great one for next week. We're going to talk about computer maintenance next week.
Okay, cool.
That's so you know, all those things that people need to do to keep their computers running, because it's like, why is this happening? Because you don't empty your trash bin, you don't do this, you don't do that, stuff like
house
that.
House cleaning tactics.
Absolutely.
I don't know what I'm talking about next week, but I'll come up with something.
Okay.
I always base off what I'm talking about what's going around in the chat rooms and the kind of things people are asking me about. But also, don't forget, we do have a special support membership that if you feel like just supporting the show in a big way, that's the one thing, and B, you feel like having Dan and I at your fingertips for email questions whenever you have them, or grabbing us in chat rooms or wherever you can and getting private information, it's the way to do it, because we will both be at your beck and call, and it's for $75 a month. And you can sign up by clicking the PayPal order button. And the link on the website at the top menu bar says support. So if you click on the support menu, it'll take you to that membership program. And again, it's a way to support the show, keep it sustained, keep it moving forward, and just get a little extra help, because we certainly can't take every single question on the show every week. So.
Right, and we answer an awful lot of questions. I mean, people are, we love having you, and send us your audio, and we can analyze it. If there's some major problems, we're happy to work with you professionally to fix it. So,
and of course,
So, and if you have a question, it's great if you can have 24-hour turnaround, and one or both of us will answer the question for you. And it's good to have instant access to us.
In many cases, even faster than 24 hours. If it's a slow day, I'm sitting there doing nothing but answering email all day long. So
twiddling our thumbs there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been given the signal that it's now time to shut up.
It is time to end the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. So
your wife's right beside you, is she?
No, she just stuck her face in the door there. Anyway, so thanks David Bucci and Jason Lawson and Jerry Reed and Jeff Scheuller, who's in there. Pat, always a pleasure. See you next week.
William Cheung.
Susan, we know you're in there, but anyway.
Yes,
Kevin, by the way.
Okay. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week. See you all next week, and we'll do another one of these in about a month or so. In the meantime, I'm Dan Lenard in the East.
And I'm George Whittam in the West.
And together we are East-West Audio Body Shop. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
See you later.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.